Sonja and Luann score a spinoff. The Bubbas are moving out and more. Hey everyone, welcome back to Shared News. We are breaking down the biggest headlines in Bravo this week. But before we do, if you are new here, make sure you subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any Bravo updates. As always, I'm your host, Morgan Wright, joined today by my Bravo-loving friend, Zachary Reality. Zach, what are you looking forward to most that we're going to talk about today?
Probably the Vanderpump Rules stuff, because I got some insider tea, so I'm just excited to kind of dish about it with you, because I'm looking forward to the next season.
And that's exactly why I decided to put it in, because I knew you would have all the inside tea with the Vanderpump Rules cast, but we'll get to that in a second. We want to start with Luanne and Sonja are getting their own spinoff. This was breaking news, and according to PageSix, Luanne de Lesseps and Sonja Morgan are getting a spinoff that is pretty similar to The Simple Life. We all grew up on The Simple Life with Paris and Nicole. It was one of the first really big reality shows.
I've always heard that people hang out at Walmart. Why?
I don't know.
What is Walmart?
So, according to PageSix, Sonja and Luann will move away from their glamorous lifestyles in New York City and film with locals in either Nebraska or Kansas. Zach, first thoughts about this spinoff with Sonja and Luann?
I mean, it kind of came out of nowhere. You know, the last we heard about RHONY and the updates is that they were going to do a legacy cast and then like an all new cast. And there truly hasn't been a lot of updates. I think I even heard that they were struggling to find like a cool core diverse group. So this kind of sounds like they might be trying to get a show with Luann and Sonja to just kind of keep them relevant and give them a little filler until RHONY comes back, which might not even come back for another year or two. And I'm assuming this is going to be on Peacock and it's going to be streaming. It seems a little chaotic. I mean, Luann and Sonja are probably the two New York housewives I'm most invested in and want to see on TV. So I'm here for it, but I don't know if it's something that's like important to watch every episode.
Yeah, it could be a filler. That's a good point. You know, we have heard that they're doing two new RHONY shows. You know, they're rebooting and recasting the original, and then they're also doing the legacy, where they branded it as, you know, the biggest New York housewives of all time. Do you think that this means Sonja and Luann will not be in the new legacy spinoff?
No, I think it means that they will be in the legacy spinoff, because as I just said, they're trying to maybe do this like filler. Like, at least that's my interpretation. So I think that they're just trying to kind of keep the buzz going for RHONY, because there hasn't been a show in a minute. So I think they'll be in the legacy spinoff. And after hearing Bethany Frankel's take on it, you know, she did some interviews and some press at the MTV Awards. I kind of think a lot of the housewives might be down for this legacy spinoff. You know, some of the OGs, maybe Aviva, maybe Dorinda. I'm also really looking forward to seeing the Ultimate Girls Trip, the ex-housewives. You know, MTV also revealed like a trailer of that at the awards, so that's going to be really cool. Who are you most looking forward to seeing on the Ex-Wives Club?
Oh my gosh, that's hard. I love Jill. I love Dorinda. I love Brandy. I don't love Brandy, but I love what she brings to the show. I mean, Vicky, I think Tamra, it's going to be amazing.
So
I feel like this one will be better than the first one. We're really super excited for it. I want to know, Zach, how do you think Ramona feels about Luann?
I mean, I feel like Ramona has to know at this point that she has just become way too problematic, way too controversial. I don't even know if they'll ask her back for the legacy. Like, I almost think that her time has been overdone for a while now. So I'm sure she's just kind of accepted it. I feel like there's also been reports going around that she even said that, you know, that she's, you know, fine with moving on and ready to retire from reality TV. But then we also see these like cringy Instagram stories of her talking to fans who like say that they love her, and then she exposes Teresa's wedding. So there still is a lot of humor with Ramona where she could be used on TV. I'm sure she's a little jealous, but I mean, I'm sure she saw it coming as well.
Yeah, so that's all the tea we have on on The Real Housewives of New York and this new spinoff, I want to move on to what you said, Zach, you have some insider scoop on, and that is Vanderpump Rules, because we've been seeing this week that Tom Schwartz and Katie Maloney are moving out of their house amid their divorce. So we've obviously known that they're getting divorced for some time now, but seeing these Instagram stories has me upset. Cannot deal with it. Katie posted, update in case you're wondering, I just live amongst boxes, moving in 2 days. Tom has also been posting a lot on his Instagram. He posted a photo of a bunch of moving boxes with a little heart in the corner. He posted a photo of their 2 dogs, Butter and Gordo, who we all know, and wrote children of divorce. I mean, that Instagram post made me so sad. What do you think is next for these two, Katie and Tom specifically?
It's so funny to see like the stories. I kind of remember Raquel doing something similar when her and James broke up, and she like posted like her boxes and her storage unit. It's just like they're really taking us on the journey of like moving out of the house. You know, from what I'm hearing, they're both going to be back on the next season of Vanderpump Rules. So I'm assuming the divorce will play out on camera. I've noticed that they've taken 2 really different approaches. I mean, Katie seems to be doing a lot of podcasts. I know she has a podcast. She's really big in the podcasting communities, but it's like every week I see her on a new podcast talking about the divorce, where Tom has been a little bit more private. You know, he has been keeping us updated on his Instagram story very vividly with these moving packages and stuff. But I think next season we'll really see Tom focus on building Schwartz and Sandy's. And, you know, Ariana just mentioned the other day, you know, doing interviews that the sandwich shop is still going to happen with her and Katie. So I'm sure that, you know, that could be a storyline next season. And I think Katie is just ready to get back out there again. I think she even said she went on a date. So I think the 2 of them are going to be, they're going to probably carry next season. There's going to be a lot to divulge with them because people are invested in their divorce because we were so invested in their marriage.
Absolutely. Now, do you know when Vanderpump Rules is starting to film?
I do know when it's going to film. I think the dates could change, but from what I've been told, it's going to start filming mid-July. I'm not sure if they're going to bring on new cast members or not. It seems like they could use a few new cast members, especially if they're opening up Schwartz and Sandy's. But it seems like a lot of the cast from last season is all going to return. So there should be some good drama considering all the relationship changes that happened off camera.
Okay. Any other tea that you're allowed to with us before we move on?
I mean, I think, I think the biggest tea that I'll share is that I heard that Sheena's wedding is going to be on camera next season. So I think that that's kind of a big moment. I don't know when they'll be able to, I don't know when in the season they'll share it, but I heard that the wedding will 100% be filmed, that arrangements have already happened. So I think that is something to look forward to.
Wow, another Sheena wedding. I mean, I still remember the crop top wedding dress. I feel like this time might be a little different between her and Brock, but I am so looking forward to Vanderpump Rules. So much has happened off camera that I'm really, really hoping that it kind of lives up to the hype because like you said, we've had a lot of changes in the cast. So TBD on Vanderpump Rules. I want to move on to our final story. And this is the story that will not die. We have heard so much about Summer and Lisa Rinna, and it is just a mess. Well, now marketing manager Patrick Sommers claims that Lisa Rinna hired him to concoct a feud with Kathy Hilton. Okay, we're going to do the Cliff Notes version of this because it's very confusing. But last week, Lisa Rinna and Patrick got into a heated argument on Instagram. And very long story short, they both posted each other's phone numbers on their Instagram stories. So last week, Pat and suggested that Kathy Hilton had offered him financial compensation to plant negative stories about Lisa Rinna. Well, this week, Patrick has completely changed his tune. He says he's working with Lisa Rinna, that the 2 of them concocted this whole thing together. In an Instagram post on Monday, he said, what was put in front of you was all manufactured in hopes of pushing Rinna's storyline for next season, refuting previous claims that Hilton paid him to go after Lisa Rinna on social media. I mean, Zach, have you been keeping up with this story at all? Who do you believe?
This has been pretty messy, as I mean, everything is with Lisa Rinna. She's always getting involved in some mess on social media. And I mean, I like how Lisa Rinna just like says how she feels. Like she doesn't need to like give a statement or anything. Like she just puts on her Instagram story. I believe Lisa Rinna. I mean, I really don't know what Patrick is saying because like that whole situation seems really weird. He's now on private. I don't really know what his relationship was towards Kathy. I don't believe that he got paid $27,000 to start this drama, but I do feel like Lisa Rinna always keeps it 100 with us, which is, you know, to her demise and also to her praise. So I'm going to believe what Lisa says. And I think it's fun that she kind of keeps this drama going because it really does add to the show. This season of Beverly Hills has been pretty slow, I would say, so far. And I think a lot of us are anticipating Kathy Hilton coming in midway through the season and shaking it up. So I'm just really anticipating seeing this play out on camera because I don't know what really could have happened to kind of see Kathy and Lisa be at such odds.
Yeah, well, all the rumors is that something happened on that Aspen trip. Like you said, you know, all the cast that's when a big blow up happened. And of course, we will see that on the show. We don't know really how much detail they will go into that on the show. The one thing that I just cannot figure out is if Lisa Rinna really has no idea who this Patrick person is. Why didn't she say that from the beginning? You know, they kind of went back and forth for a while, and he claimed that they were friends. She never refuted that. I mean, is that confusing to you or is it just me?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Lisa did say that someone must have gave Patrick her number because she didn't give her the number. I mean, this whole show also seemed so fake too. The Real Husbands of Sunset, like, come on. I mean, I think it's still ridiculous that Lisa Rinna is still so petty after all of these years, but I also think, as I mentioned, that's what makes Housewives so interesting, and she's adding so much to the show. I don't know what their relationship was. I mean, based on Lisa's recent Instagram stories, because, you know, there's live updates every day, it sounds like they didn't know each other, and she was asking the Bravo detectives to do their due diligence and find out who this Patrick guy is.
I mean, wow, if he is making this up, maybe he really is a marketing genius because nobody knew who Patrick Summers was before last week, and now he is all over every single headline. I mean, any final thoughts about this feud? Are you ready to kind of put it to bed, or do you think we're going to get more chapters to the saga?
I'm really just looking forward to seeing it on Housewives because it's so confusing what's going on social media, but I just want to see it play out on the show because Beverly Hills truly is one of my favorite franchise after Jersey, and this season, it's just not been doing it for me. I'm not invested in this Crystal and Sutton, and like Diana is fabulous, but I don't know. So I'm just really looking forward to Kathy kind of coming in and really giving us what we want.
I, too, am such a fan of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I don't think it's necessarily been slow. I just think we had such an intense season last year, you know, all revolving around Erica Jane and her legal troubles. And I thought maybe we would get more of that, but it seems to be like the opposite. Everybody's ignoring the huge elephant in the room. She's saying that the victims might be making all of this up. And it just seems weird that nobody's like pushing back against her, but instead they're focusing on other things like Sutton's reaction to things. And it just is very, very weird. So I feel like, you know, we've seen in the trailers too, Erica Jane really starts to come for Kathy, and Kyle asks why. And Erica says, you know, because I was beat up all last year, so it's somebody else's turn. So this stuff with Kathy is really going to be a main storyline. I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that all plays out. But let us know what you think of it all in the comments. Do you believe this Patrick Summers guy? Do you think Lisa Rinna put him up to it? Are you sad that the Bubbas are really divorcing? And what do you think about this new spinoff with Luanne and Sonja? We love to hear your comments, your questions, anything that you want to add to the conversation. You can do so in the comment section below. Please be sure you subscribe to our channel and ring the bell before you leave so you don't miss out on any Bravo updates. You can also come say hi to Zachary and I. Our social media handles are on the screen right now. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you back here next time. Bye.